Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Wednesday the 5th of October 2016, and we're briefly covering last night's vice presidential debate between Tim Kaine and Mike Pence at Longwood University, Virginia. We stayed up until 3:30 a.m. UK GMT time to watch this debate. Our overall impression was that it was a debate which addressed the issues in more depth than the first presidential debate. Both candidates did well in that Kaine was aggressive, constantly interrupting, but also making sure that the Clinton allegations against Trump were being heard. Pence was calm, respectful, and frankly came across as being honest and genuine, and we felt he appeared quite presidential. If there is one criticism to levy against Pence, which many have, and that is he did not defend his boss enough. But in fairness to him, it's very difficult to defend some of the verbal tirades and tweets that Donald Trump has carried out. So he did right in avoiding them as best he could. So who won? Well, let's take a look at some of the online polls, the results of which we looked at within the last hour. Now, to be fair, we aren't fans of online polls, as there's no doubt that activists make great use of them, and they aren't infallible and can be manipulated. Having said that, in the main, most provided a clear indication of who won. Let's take a look. TVline.com had Kaine at 54% and Pence at 45%, so Kaine won. But the other four show Pence having won. Fox 8 Cleveland, Kaine 14%, Pence 83%. Drudge Report, Kaine 5%, Pence 95%. Washington Times, Kaine 16%, Pence 81%. And Metro US, Kaine 4%, Pence 96%. So clearly, from just these five, which frankly were typical of the 12 polls we looked at. Admittedly, they are from organizations which tend to be right-wing in orientation. So we then looked at some of the newspapers and media opinions which have not been that favorable historically to Trump. And this is what they've said. The BBC, quote, "Pence didn't get rattled, and he didn't make any unforced errors that would dominate the headlines tomorrow. Mr. Pence was added to the ticket to serve as an emotional counterbalance to Mr. Trump's fiery blunderbuss style, and Tuesday night showed why that was probably a good idea. A Chris Christie or Newt Gingrich surely would have mounted a more spirited attack on Mrs. Clinton's record. This debate likely will have little effect on the overall poll numbers. They historically never do." The Washington Post, quote, "Mike Pence won. From the very beginning, Pence was the more comfortable of the two men on the debate stage. Pence repeatedly turned to the camera when he answered questions, making clear he understood that the real audience wasn't in the room, but watching on TV. The Indiana governor was calm, cool, and collected throughout. A stark contrast to the fast-talking and seemingly nervous Kaine," unquote. CBS News, quote, "Let's get the easy, obvious point out of the way first. Mike Pence won that debate and won it handily." The Young Turks, they voted marginally in favor of Tim Kaine, not so much because they thought he was the better debater, but because they felt he did more good in protecting his boss and attacking his opponent's boss than Pence did. So, again, in general, Pence won. We felt this too, and frankly we agree with what the Wall Street Journal published, which, although good for the Republican Party, may not go down too well with Donald Trump himself. This is what they've said, quote, "Mike Pence's performance presented a sharp contrast with his running mate. Pence was articulate. At times he looked directly into the camera to emphasize important points, and his folksy demeanor did not make him seem overly disagreeable. In many ways, Pence appeared presidential. If Trump fails to win in November, Pence will be well positioned to help lead the Republican Party and potentially launch a presidential campaign in 2020.
We hope you have found this video interesting and informative, and if so, please give it a thumb up and share it on Twitter. Also, kindly visit our website at illuminatisilver.com, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe as a free member for regular email updates and offers. Our Facebook page, which is updated daily, can be found at facebook.com/illuminatisilver. Disclaimer. Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.